Hey, you guys.
Hey, Yankum.
Hey, we're on the air.
Are we? Really? Hey, Omega.
Yes.
Did you hear about that new flavor of JR's barbecue sauce that they have?
No, I did not.
Apparently it's fire roasted. Let's start the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 89 of Woo Gets Serious. My name's Gunner, and that over there is Omega BR.
Yeah, and I'm too upset to be funny.
Or is it just the fact that you're not funny?
Omega, really funny.
Funny looking. Kind of like you, buddy. Speaking of the funny looking gentleman to my left in the metaphysical realm of online-dom, it's Yankum TDS.
Hello.
That was the worst entrance ever. I would rather have Nat Jester come back and give me a soliloquy and do a one-man performance of Macbeth.
Hello, Gunner. I'm watching you.
Okay. So basically, since now we're all creeped out, we have some... Breaking news! Jim Ross announced his retirement from the WWE today to focus on personal business. Dave Meltzer reports that it was actually a firing decided by Vince McMahon for Ross' failure to wrangle Ric Flair in during the 2K panel some weeks ago, and that the retirement was a way for him to leave with dignity and not cause a PR meltdown. It would have. It should be noted that 2K was very happy with the panel, and that Ross claimed in an interview just weeks prior that he had no plan to ever retire. Also that no current superstars have mentioned of the release except Triple H, who thanked Ross for his years of service. Are we being worked, brother?
I don't think so. I mean, I know Meltzer gets a lot of crap for, what Meltzer said. But I mean, this is a company that employs guys like Bill DeMott and John Laurinaitis and Pat Patterson and, loves them and protects them and defends them, and then employs a guy like Jim Ross, who for 20 years... they said jump, he said how high. They say go away, he says how far. They make fun of him at every turn. This isn't like Jerry Lawler, mother's death in a storyline. This is, Vince McMahon taking things out of Jim Ross's ass while Ross watches at home with the rest of us. I mean, I just found out about this about 30 minutes before. I was busy all day. About 30 minutes before we did the podcast, and I'm pretty upset about it. I mean, if there's one guy I think deserves a little bit of dignity, it's Jim Ross, and and they fire him for this panel, which he appeared to be quote unquote tipsy, and maybe he wasn't, or maybe he was. I don't know. He said it was more him being tired and his Bell's palsy, which, by the way, they've mocked at every single turn. And
I expect a mocking on this week's Raw, by the way.
If they do that, I swear it right now, if they do that, I'm not watching Raw ever again. I'm serious.
And we'll see you next week, Omega.
No, well, I mean, this is me being reactionary. This is me being upset. But seriously, if they... Alright, I take that back, but I won't watch for the rest of the year. And I'm serious about that, because that's a little bit too much. I mean, it just... I'm not saying I'm near I've never even met Ross, you know. But, you know, I mean, like I said, if there's one guy, out of respect, out of everything he's done, out of all the big moments he's helped make that much bigger, and his just complete and utter loyalty to the company, and this is what they fire him over. I mean, in a word, it's really pathetic. I mean, it really is pathetic, and it just kind of proves that, you know, the McMahons you see on TV ain't that different from the McMahons you see backstage, you know? I mean, you know, you can... Yeah, Yankum, you go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying, fucking little cunts. No, this is totally true. Yes, that. I don't know why in the world they would fire...
This entire thing is really confusing.
Thank you, Gunnar. Why they would fire Jim Ross for anything short of, like, I don't know, blatantly raping a girl in 1996, or racism, you know, on stage, whatever. But I just, there's no legitimate reason for them to force him out other than they never really liked him in the first place.
No, I don't think so. I mean, they just don't have that affinity for him like they do this inner circle that, you know, for years has been protected and sort of, you know, when these things happen. I mean, nothing short of photographic evidence, which there is supposedly a little bit of, at least in Bill DeMott's case. You know, some of the things that go on. I mean, I don't know. It's like the more things change, the more things stay the same, you know? I mean, it really upsets me that just... And I'm not trying to put words in anybody's mouth. I just feel like I'm kind of speaking that, you know, obviously Ross is a saint. That's the thing. Ross is a saint. He's not going to come out and say, yeah, you know, those bastards fired me. He's not going to go to TNA and cut a shoot promo on Vince McMahon. Although I think he should go to TNA and steal Dixie's money.
I'm sure Dixie's already given him phone calls several times today.
Yeah, I say go for it. You know, just clean her out, you know. Because she deserves it and he deserves it.
I think that he's got enough money to set himself straight for a long time. He's not in Big Show's position, which, by the way, is complete kayfabe.
Yeah, that's another stupid thing. I don't know. You know, I apologize because I am very upset. I didn't expect to be so upset about this, but, you know, like I said, if there's one guy in this often dirty, dishonest business who you would think is, you know, just an amazing guy, it's Jim Ross. And even if everything Meltzer said is untrue, and it wasn't because of 2K or whatever, and he really did retire on his own, it still doesn't erase the fact that he's been basically humiliated and kind of ignored by a company he's given 20 years of his life to, and then just an absolute dedication. And it's kind of like Mick Foley, too, who, you know, for years gave his all and, you know, wasn't really considered a legend in the same way, you know, The Rock, Austin, Undertaker were, and just kind of got humiliated all the time, and throw him a bone, and I don't know, you know, it's just, it is really pretty shameful, I think, that this is how they treat a guy who never did anything but what they wanted, you know. So I don't know.
One final note on this. Everyone go get yourself a bottle of JR's barbecue sauce.
Back out! Back out! Speaking of God...
Yeah, I want to do it. It's my turn.
Okay, alright.
Actually, speaking of things that are complete and utter idiocy, AJ Styles' original contract called for raises each year, and that the new contract they were attempting to get him to sign actually locked him in at his current salary. Not pay cuts as was previously suggested, leading to the dispute and the temporary agreement. Apparently, internally, there are all kinds of questions being asked about the state of TNA, with things feeling eerily similar to the end of the original ECW, with a lot of people still behind on pay, particularly on the production side, and Dixie Carter even skipping the last set of Impact tapings to attend a college football game. Many were waiting for that confrontation between Carter and Hulk Hogan after Hogan's comments in Toronto, including saying that Eric Bischoff should be given full control of the company and, get this, that they still did not have the resources they needed to be successful.
If they give Bischoff full control of TNA, I will never watch again.
If I was Dixie Carter, I would be the first one at the arena, and as soon as Bischoff and Hogan got there, I would say, thank you very much for your years of service. You're no longer needed. Goodbye. And I would fire both of them. Because every single thing they've ever wanted, they've gotten their way on in TNA. They got the four-sided ring, they got moving to Mondays, they got all their friends on the roster, they got creative control, they got... You know, Bischoff was supposed to just be an on-screen character, but of course then he... Or actually, no, he was supposed to just be a consultant, and then he became the on-screen character again. And... You know, Hogan gets the most money, he gets all his merchandise, he gets every single thing that those two have ever wanted from TNA, they got, and they still have the nerve. I mean, even if it's true, and even if people really feel that way, because, you know, it's not like Carter is competent after all, but they still, it's really disrespectful to say that about Dixie after she's handed her company to them, and they still have the nerve to say, well, yeah, she handed it to us, but we don't want her to have a hand on it. Still. I mean, am I wrong?
No, you're
right. You're absolutely correct. I agree with you. I mean, like, TNA is a ridiculous shithole right now, and the reason why they've lost so much money is because they brought in Hogan and Bischoff, and they pay them so much, and they jerk off over, you know, the 1.0 that they're going to get. I could see TNA being bought out by the end of the year. I mean, like, that could be a possibility. And Spike buying them, making them their own entity, and then firing Hogan and Bischoff and Dixie Carter out the window, and then they just have this stupid wrestling product that they put on once a week that, you know, gets a 1.0 and nobody gives a fuck, basically, and things will keep going on.
That's what TNA is now. It's a stupid wrestling product that comes on once a week and nobody gives a fuck. It just draws its 1.0.
You know, all the TNA is about to die talk, you know. We've said it before. It happens all the time, but, you know, never before have they really been in trouble like this. Because, if nothing else, if Dixie and Hogan aren't talking, then that's the beginning. That's the true beginning of the end right there. Absolutely. Alright, what's next?
Alright, as of now, the current plan for both John Cena and Sheamus is to return at the Royal Rumble. Those two big returns might hinder any plans for another surprise, like Jake Roberts, which they'll still probably do if Jake stays on the goddamn wagon. The microsite for WWE in Spain claims that events in Madrid and Barcelona for November have been cancelled, specifically citing John Cena's injury as the reason. Blood clots in Ric Flair's leg have returned, although he's telling people it's not as bad as before, though he has to cancel appearances where he has to fly due to the risk. Vicky Guerrero notes her oldest daughter will report to the Performance Center soon, seemingly acknowledging a return for Shaul Guerrero, who later tweeted that she had her last eating disorders anonymous eating. The disorder was the main reason she left WWE and NXT a year ago. So we'll get Shaul Guerrero back, which is a very good thing for NXT. Ric Flair isn't sounding too hot, and boo! Why does John Cena and Sheamus have to come back in the same night? I mean, really?
There's millions of bodies.
Really?
millions of buys. And by millions, I mean maybe 175,000.
And that's more annoying than a Miz Fandango match.
Let's be fair here. Nothing is more annoying than a Miz Fandango match. It does seem kind of dumb to have them both make their surprise return during the Rumble, though.
Yeah.
But yay, Shel Guerrero coming back.
Yeah, that'll be nice, I guess. The thing about Cena and Sheamus coming back is that worries me is that, they're doing this whole big McMahon versus everybody storyline, and then, if John, I even said this on the board the other day, if this was John Cena in this feud, he wouldn't be getting his butt kicked every night. He would be out there no-selling whatever they did. He would be out there taking the Shield on 3-on-1. He would be out there cracking jokes about Stephanie's...
He wouldn't be out there or involved in this at all. That's the problem. This isn't him. This involvement wouldn't... The fight would come to him. He wouldn't go to the fight.
Yeah, basically. Well, I just mean if John Cena was in Daniel Bryan's place right now. He wouldn't...
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm saying. He wouldn't be in that position. There wouldn't be this feud. We wouldn't be having this conversation at all, because it would be Cena would be doing a lot of other things, and then the McMahons would be jerking off and everything else. CM Punk would probably be in the role rather than Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan would be toiling around in mid-card hell. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's what I'm worried about. Is if this isn't resolved by the Royal Rumble, which I don't really expect it to be, is that Cena's going to come back, and then he's going to be fucking everything up. And it's not his fault. I know it's not his fault. It's creative. He doesn't really get to decide that sort of thing. But I just know he's going to make his return. And then he's going to stick himself right in the goddamn middle of this pretty awesome storyline we've got going.
Okay, ready?
Ready!
This is how it's going to happen, right? So John Cena's going to come back, and he's going to lose the Royal Rumble. But then the McMahons are going to come out at the winner of the Royal Rumble because it's going to be Daniel Bryan. And then Daniel Bryan and John Cena are going to be forced to be put into a match. And then John Cena's going to side with the McMahon family, and you have a heel turn. Yay!
A John Cena heel turn? Is that what you just proposed?
I
think it's time that you need to lay off the angel dust, Gunner. Because that's ever going to happen. Ever.
I might stop watching anyway, whether they make fun of Ross or not.
Well, let's move on. I want to do this one. The International Olympic Committee met this week and determined that wrestling will be reinstated as an Olympic sport at the 2020 Summer Games, which was led by Tokyo, Japan. Speaking of the Olympics, Kurt Angle was released from rehab this week, but no word on when he'll return to action. So, fuck yeah! Fuck yeah, Olympic wrestling is going to be back.
The votes were 50-something to wrestling, 29 to baseball, softball, and 22 to squash. And that's how the voting went. And people were like, oh my god, this was such a big mistake. And when I read it, I was very, very, very happy. So, 2020 Olympics with wrestling in Tokyo. Suplexes, anyone?
The whole thing was pretty pointless. If I was a supporter of one of those other sports, I'd be pretty upset about it, to be honest with you.
Let's be real. Nobody supports squash. I don't even know how that's a game.
That's not a game, that's a vegetable. And a mediocre one at best.
Unless you prepare it correctly.
Shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, squash is a shit tier vegetable. Also, Kurt Angle released from rehab. Hopefully, he manages to stay on the wagon.
A little quick, huh?
Are we gonna start the countdown to Kurt Angle back in rehab?
I'm gonna start the countdown to Kurt Angle on my death list.
Aww.
Speaking of people on my death list, Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards were considered standouts for the WWE Performance Camp last week, which also was attended by Joey Ryan. There's speculation within the company that Total Diva JoJo may be hooking up with WWE Champion Randy Orton. As the pair were seen holding hands, I can't even fucking finish that sentence because it's like the lowest little girl in the company who's like 20, tee is fucking the WWE Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for someone to hold Randy Orton down for a 3 count, well, guess what? She's on Total Divas and she sings the goddamn national anthem.
She sings it well, though.
She does. There was also speculation that Dolph Ziggler's recent string of losses and beatdowns are a part of a punishment for something he said during SummerSlam week. I disagree with that. I feel that he's getting the Randy Orton push, and he will be pushed to the moon very shortly.
That remains to be seen. Well, yeah, of course, go after the WWE Champion, somebody who's close to the bosses and everything. I'm kind of surprised it's not Eva Marie instead of JoJo, though. I don't know. I hate that show. I hate every one of them.
How can you hate that show? It's amazing.
Well, for one thing,
I hate it ever.
I'm not sure how you can hate it. You've never even watched it.
I've seen the commercials. All the dumb recaps they do on Raw.
Uh-huh. I don't know. I've seen a few episodes. It's not that bad. It's just normal, mindless entertainment. I don't know how I feel about them mixing it in with my regular kayfabe and making that reality show like part of the wrestling. Actually, I do know how I feel. I hate it. I hate it with a passion, but what are you going to do?
Alright, let's rein this in, I guess. God, I'm in such a bad mood over this Raw stuff. The Hollywood Reporter reported that The Rock is in negotiations to star in a movie based on the TV series The Fall Guy, which would be produced by WWE Studios. Several stars had luggage problems in Canada this week, which Jerry Lawler mentioned on Raw, noting that he was not wearing one of his signature shiny affliction-type shirts. And WWE has a Minecraft contest for Night of Champions where you can win prizes by building what you think the set will look like. I bet it will look like what it has looked like for the past 6 years.
So it took a lot of gold block and yellow wool.
The 2 columns and the red banners with all the championships and the video wall, and that's about it.
When was that announced?
I think it was like this week, actually.
That's ridiculous. That is not enough time to build an entire set and ring and all of ringside. Not unless you have a team of people working on it.
Go big or go home, Mick.
You see, the Minecraft contest, you have to enter now. You just have to.
No.
Because, like, it would be so simple to win.
Why is that?
Because the McMahon's blockheaded enough that they would see anything and they go, oh, that's amazing! And so if you're the first one to enter, well, guess what? You've just won. I believe I'm on my Zing game tonight. But also, speaking of a Zing game, we're done with news. And so we're going to get to the real game here, which is the 15-minute time limit. This week for the 15 minutes, we are very, very close to the weekend of Night of Champions. So guess what? We're doing predictions. Go figure. I mean, who would think that we would do predictions? Pre-show match to determine who faces the Shield later in the night. 3-man band versus Tons of Funk versus the Real Americans versus Primetime players versus the Usos in a tag team turmoil match, which I assume means two tag teams start. One tag team loses, another tag team comes in. Last tag team standing wins.
I thought tag team turmoil was when all the teams were in different corners, and then you didn't even have to be on the team of the person that gets tagged in. No? Anyways, Primetime Players wins or we riot. They'll probably be the Usos. Again.
Probably the Primetime Players, since they've gotten a little push lately.
Nope. Real Americans. No, Usos, rather. Usos.
No.
It's going to be the Usos. It's going to be the Usos again. Again.
No.
And what I'm wondering is why the Wyatt family isn't in this?
That's actually a pretty good question. But I guess they're busy doing... They're in the middle of... No. What the fuck are they doing? I don't even know.
I don't know. They're in the middle of the Kane drama.
While Kane's out.
Yeah.
But
Feuding
then...
with the person that's not there. So then who wins? Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins versus whoever wins. And if it's the Usos, well, they're going to win. That's pretty much it. If they're facing any of those people on the list, they're going to win. I mean, that's not even a question.
I'm okay with that, I guess. I mean, they're it's good that, they're the Shield and they've got titles and it shows they're dominant, but it's not like they're really doing anything with those titles. They don't really need any titles to do the things that they're doing, which is being the corporate lapdogs.
They win. I mean, that's really not even a question anymore.
Yeah, probably.
So we have the Divas match then. AJ versus Natalya versus Naomi versus Brie Bella for the Divas titles. Bill wins.
If there is any justice and goodness left in the world,
There isn't.
if there is a just and loving God, if He truly exists, Natalya will hold the Divas title at the end of this match. But it'll probably just be AJ retaining.
Yeah, it's possible. You kind of have to think what would be best for Total Divas, and that would probably be winning the title. So I'll probably just go with that.
Oh, gee, no. Just... No.
Well, sorry, Brie, because she's on the show, and it's pretty much who would win this. I mean, that's pretty much it. Sorry, guys. I mean, AJ could retain. AJ could retain and just, do it against the odds, and I could see that happening just as equally as Brie winning, but the other two are just completely irrelevant. Sorry, Natalya. I mean, like, she's great, and I want her to win it. And personally speaking, it'll be great. The booking-wise, it's Brie. It's Brie that's going to win it. And then you're going to start a jealousy angle for the next season of, Total Divas or whatever, and they're going to release it sometime in the spring. You're welcome.
Fuck my life. Let's talk about something that's going to be good. Let's talk about Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler, because that is going to be an awesome match.
I don't know. Do you think Ziggler will actually win? There's a lot of questions, because I don't know how they're doing this storyline. You know what I mean? Like, could Ziggler actually win, and then that's a kind of a win for the good guys, or are they going to stretch this out more beyond, I don't know. He's gotten beat up quite a bit in the past few weeks, so I'm kind of liable to say no.
Okay, for this, I'm going to make a prediction. The only championship there's going to be one championship that is going to change hands tonight. And it is not the U.S. title of Dolph Ziggler.
Alright, which is it?
We'll get to that in a minute.
He's talking about the Divas title.
Match.
That's going to be the only title that changes hands.
It is going to be really good. This match is going to be really good, though. It's going to be match of the night. I'm looking forward to it. CM Punk versus Kurt Axel and Paul Heyman in a non-title handicap elimination match.
Axel and Heyman by shenanigans? Or do you think they'll actually give the payoff on this one?
No payoff. Night of Champions, bro. This is the night of payoff. This is the night of the champions being strong. So Kurt Axel and Paul Heyman win by some sort of,
Shenanigans.
Okay. Shenanigans. Yeah, basically Kurt Axel and CM Punk will lose. Punk will beat Axel and pin Axel, and then Heyman will come in and get himself disqualified or something, or get Punk disqualified somehow, or count him out, or they'll have him count out. Oh God, yeah, that'll be it. So Axel will beat Punk. So Punk will beat Axel, right? And it'll be no problem. And then he'll go after Paul, but running around catching Paul, Paul will he'll run into Curtis Axel, and then it'll be a Raw match, basically.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That whole storyline, it's not bad, but it's like, I don't really care if Heyman gets beat up. And maybe that's just me, you know.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's about the best I can say for it at this point, is that I like it. I do have to say some of the promo work that Heyman was doing, and with the whole snapping and I loved you and all that, was pretty awesome, but it's good. We'll just have to see how it pays off. And then we've got ADR versus RVD for the world title. ADR retains, of course.
I'm not so sure.
Nope. This is my title match switch. RVD will win.
Really?
Yes, RVD will win and become the World Heavyweight Champion. You know why?
Because you touch yourself at night?
Because, but who comes out with his very, very shiny and very, very wonderful mahogany Money in the Bank contract with Damien Sandow?
I'm okay with this.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And he'll feud with RVD. He won't cash it in. He will feud.
Yeah, maybe.
Wait. You're saying he's going to come out with it and then feud with RVD, but he's not going to cash it in and take the title. He's just going to be like, hey, guess what? We're feuding now. I don't follow.
He's the Money in the Bank thing. That's how Randy Orton feuded with Daniel Bryan or John Cena, inactively for like a month.
Okay. I don't like it, though. I liked it better when I thought he was going to cash in and take the title. But we've got 3 minutes left here. So let's talk about Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE title.
There are going to be more shenanigans in this than there have been in Raw, in the entirety of Raw.
You mean like all Raws since like 93?
Basically.
That's a lot of shenanigans, sir. I mean, you do remember that Doink was on Raw, and Stone Cold shenanigans alone. Dear God. Although, now that I think about it, I would like to see Daniel Bryan like crash into the ring with a like tanker truck and spray the McMahons and Triple H with a tank full of wheatgrass juice or whatever you call it. That would be pretty awesome.
All right, this is all right. Here's my prediction. Randy Orton wins after a Big Show interference, and then a Big Show... No, he can't turn heel. God damn it. I was going to say a Big Show heel turn, and he'll align with everyone. And it'll just be keep people just aligning with like the corporation and whatnot, and Daniel Bryan being Stone Cold. And pretty much being the only one.
I've got it. It's a fake Big Show heel turn. He'll come out and he will knock Randy Orton out with the weapon of mass destruction, but he will do it in such a way that the ref will see it, disqualifying Daniel Bryan so that he can retain. But it'll be like Steph and them's idea. They made him do it. So it'll look like he's doing a good thing, but he's doing a bad thing.
Right.
And he's like, I don't want to do bad things.
I don't know. I keep getting distracted. I really don't care about this pay-per-view. I'm just going to come out and say I think it's just in the middle of this dumb story.
All right, and that's the time, and we saved Omega by the bell because he really didn't have anything to say other than I've got a fence post up my ass.
Well,
Let's be nice to Omega BR. He's had a rough day with the whole Jim Ross thing.
I tend to piss a lot of people off.
I don't know why it makes me so upset. It's just,
It's because Jim Ross is getting treated like shit again, and you identify with Jim Ross because he's a straight man. You're a straight man.
Yeah, in a business where there's no more heroes, he's a hero.
All right, well, gentlemen, we have about 2 minutes left in the segment here, so let's get into a couple plugs. SmarkSnark.com will take you directly to our Spreaker page, where you can check out all our old episodes, as well as the new ones as they go up, and we broadcast live generally every Tuesday when Gunnar is nice enough to join us. Also, you can check out our YouTube page, youtube.com/SmarkSnark. All our episodes go up there as well, and we're looking at adding some other video content onto that. If you'd like to join us, all you have to do is hop in the 42010 TeamSpeak 3 Serious Podcast channel. We'll link the IP in the description below this, or the next part, whichever. Let's see what else, Gunnar. SmarkSnark, Facebook.com,
SmarkSnark, Facebook.com/SmarkSnark, Twitter.com @SmarkSnark. You can tweet us there because we tweet every freaking Monday night with Jacob and occasionally myself, and we say hello. Special shout out to my buddy Jared McLean, who tweeted with us last night or on Monday night for Raw. He's a good buddy of mine. I've known him for a long time. He's been a co-host on the show actually. And I would like to thank y'all for listening, and we will catch you on the next segment where Yankum fucks everything up.
Go fuck yourself. We'll be right back.